Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Today, excited for the new RF middleweight edition called 01? Or is that RF first edition? 300-gram version, though. Stay tuned. Hey guys, do you need help organizing your tennis life? Well, think Go! We got the Axiom line here, the 9-pack duffel, my favorite bag, the 9-pack Axiom 2.0. They even make a 12-pack if you're going on tour. And my favorite backpack of all time. I love that bag. So if you want to organize your tennis life, think Go. All right, I got the middleweight version of the RF series. This one is 300 grams, 10.6 ounces, 98 square inch head, 16 by 19 string pattern. Now, all those numbers are unstrung, unovergripped. This doesn't have a leather, okay? Coach Gu was a little excited and gripped all of these, but this is how most of us are going to use it, with an overgrip on there. So it's not leather, though. It's pleather, if you're a kid of the 90s like me, or synthetic, as Wilson wants to call it, synthetic leather. But let's get weighing and balancing so we can get hitting. All right, so let's see what numbers we get here. The weight of it strung, and that's ALU, guys, full beta ALU. It's 322 grams. Let's see what the balance is. Ooh, whoa, this is head heavier than the RF. Whoa, 328 on that balance. So it's head heavier than the or supposedly head heavier than the RF. Okay. $316. All right. So it's got less swing weight, but head heavier in the balance. And it's lighter than the RF. I can feel there's more like weight. It's kind of weird. The weight's kind of in here. Yeah, it's kind of in here and then kind of a little bit here too. It's, yeah, definitely has right where the handle is and up is where I feel the weight. So, final numbers, 322 on the weight. Balance, 328, 316 on the swing weight. That's what I feel. Let's see if I feel that on the court, though. Let's get on the court and test out the middleweight version of the RF. All right, so Coach Jerod and Bryce just finished playing with the RF middleweight version, 300 grams, 10.6. Coach, what did you think of that?
Yeah, so I think the middleweight racket is more designed for kind of the not so advanced players. It's kind of more of a racket that anyone can use.
Mhm.
It's also a 98 square inch head size racket, and I think Wilson kind of does a really good job with, again, that kind of head size, because that's their, most famous line, the blade rackets. And I think it's kind of nice that they're kind of, exploring different avenues with different frames and different types of rackets. And in this case, again, this is not a traditional RF stick, because usually as pro staffs usually have the PWS system, also tailored towards traditional players who have very smooth strokes, want to play an all-court game. This is, again, tailored towards just kind of anyone in general. It's very similar to the RF Pro racket. The only difference, though, is you can actually swing this one a little bit easier. The only problem, though, is I still felt like there was a little bit of inconsistencies in certain shots that I had. So if you're swinging really confidently and playing extremely well, I think the racket suits you very well, because, again, you're hitting great shots, have the confidence to finish the ball, kind of hit, through the court. But if you have any sort of lack in confidence and slow down your swing just slightly, I think the sweet spot is not as big on this one as the RF Pro racket, but that doesn't knock the racket at all, because, again, it's still a very comfortable frame, very plush, kind of has a lot of give per se. So me personally, what I could do with this one is maybe add a couple of inches of weight, either at 3 and 9, or try to mess around with some weight towards the top or in the handle. But yeah, if you guys are looking for a new stick and definitely a big RF fan, this is definitely a fun racket to play with, and I'm excited to see what people kind of what type of people play with this stick. So overall, fun play test.
All right. So you bring up a good point. Like, you have to hit it confidently, because I feel like there's more head weight on this one versus the Pro model. When you set the path, if you alter the path or are unsure about your shot and you slow up on it, that's when you get into trouble with it, because that extra weight is really pushing through. And if you change your mind, you're kind of screwed at that point. Like, it's hard to throw it up or slow it down. It's just going to be a bad shot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But overall, I mean, it's very easy to swing. You can get pretty good access to power. And again, that commitment to your swing is probably the biggest thing with this stick overall.
Right.
But still a great frame from Wilson.
Right.
So
perfect. Bryce?
Yeah. Overall, it's a great racket. Had a lot of fun and picked it up. It was great balance as the Pro. But as Jerod said, it's a little lighter, so it's a lot more manageable in that sense. They've readjusted the weight, like Harry's saying, to like fit and have that same feeling, but you're managing less weight. So if this is a lot more manageable for you to hit day in, day out, go to practice with and play sets and long practices with. So overall, great racket, and it still has the same great feeling as the Pro, and the same great paint job, and all the same butt cap and unique features that Roger's putting in for us. So
right. Perfect. All right. Guys, thank you for testing it out for me. Coach Jerod, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at ModTennis, and follow my joint Instagram at KJ Tennis.
Bryce?
you can find me at Post Trace Delivery Co. at Instagram.
All right. Off to the next coach. All right, just got off the court. Coach Goo.
Thank you.
The medium-weighted RF.
Yes.
What'd you think?
I think it's a great racket for a 300-gram racket. It plays like kind of more like the 100 kind of square, like kind of like that realm of like the pure drives and the Dunlops, the blue Dunlops, I forgot what they're called.
FX,
yeah. Like kind of in that market, if you're looking for the market for that type of racket plus control, I would recommend this one. I mean, it does deliver the pop. It does deliver the stability of this frame, and also it's just a lot more control and feel. I feel like with all those pure drives, and they're targeted to more like, oh, I want to be, ripping and outpowering my opponents. This one actually has more precision, but it doesn't lack the power. This is the one thing that I was very shocked about. It does not lack power. Even from the lightest to this one, it did not lack any power. It didn't even lack any of the stability when I was hitting it through the ball. A really well done job with this racket. I think they definitely took their time with feeling and making sure that when you strike every ball, it was precise and powerful.
Yeah. I feel like they did amp up the power in this, which was a little surprising to me. The ball jumps off of this one.
Yes.
And there is like a ton of weight that you can actually feel from like here on up.
Yeah,
when
and
it would drop like a hammer almost when I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, and this is why I liked it because, you know, with the other rackets on the market that kind of play like this, they're very head light. So when you're hitting it, you don't really feel that much unless you weighted it, right?
Yep.
So like this doesn't even need even that much weight because the weight distribution is already at the head, and that's why I actually enjoyed playing with it because I could catch it with balls that, you know, that usually if, you know, using a lighter racket or a racket like this, I would struggle with it because it's so light, like headlight. But now this is actually head heavy. I can actually kind of do some damage and actually absorb more of the pace.
You bring up a good point. For those of you who's I always have to customize my racket. I'm tired of doing that. Why can't they make a racket in stock form for me? This could be your racket because the weight is literally here, and then it starts to progress with the weight out here. So where it actually drops. Although they say it's 9 points head light, I feel like a lot of the weight is from the midpoint and out. And they emphasized it on the midpoint so that you can feel that it, you know, it dips in the head a little more. So I think a lot of weight is here, right? And then it's kind of concentrated here.
Well, yeah, most rackets in the market are more concentrated through the bottom half of the throw to the grip. So that's why you won't feel as much, and that's why you probably would have weighted your racket a lot more.
Actually feel this real quick.
I know you told me, right?
No. Check it out.
Okay.
Like, you see how it drops? I think they weigh it here into the center section.
Yeah.
So that it's heavy, like dropping down.
Yeah.
So you get a quick head too. You do get a quick head through.
Yeah, but it's stable. It's not like it's losing any of its capabilities to like make impact and deliver power to it.
Yeah. Unlike pro staffs, this isn't as flexible. We
It's
don't
stiffer.
know the RAs on these because at the time of the shooting, we don't know the complete numbers. We literally just have the rackets and the placard. That's all we're going by. So we know nothing about these. So we're going solely on feel, and they feel great. Okay. It kind of also reminds me of a stable Pure Drive 98 and the new Extreme Pro.
Oh,
It's got similar feelings to those.
yeah, I can see that.
So, but yeah, I recommend this if you're a pro staff fan and you want a little stiffer racket, and then you're retired like Fed, and you want, you know, just a little bit more from your racket. Check that out. All right, Coach Q, any final words?
Nope, all good. I think this is a great racket overall. Great job, Wilson.
All right, great job, Roger. All right. Where can we find you, Goo?
Find me AG.tennis. I'll also be posting content there as well.
All right, guys, thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.